Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. Great article here from Mike over at Light Reading. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out. So T-Mobile is really keyed in on this whole AI situation, right? For those of you who saw the content I made, I think it was yesterday, on the OpenAI situation, 100 million over 3 years. That's a huge spend on AI. So they're going big on that, and then who knows how much they're gonna spend on NVIDIA and the AI RAN. So T-Mobile emerging as NVIDIA's big AI cheerleader. T-Mobile officials have started suggesting that NVIDIA, alongside other members of the AI RAN alliance, ought to help guide the future of 6G by combining wireless technologies with AI. So T-Mobile is betting that AI RAN is going to be a big thing going into 6G. So that signals to me T-Mobile is looking to be the leader in 6G as well. So they started 5G first, they became the leader in that, and T-Mobile is going to try and continue that story by moving first to 6G, and they should get there first, right? When you have as much of a new technology deployed as what T-Mobile has, right, by the time your competition catches up, right, by the time Verizon gets to 300 million plus pops, could be like early 2026, maybe mid 2026. By the time AT&T gets to that, right, US T-Mobile should already be starting to implement 6G technologies, right? May that be AI RAN, whatever that looks like. T-Mobile should already, I would say 2026, 2027, start to incorporate that. And that's kind of what Ulf Edwardson, the person in charge of T-Mobile's network, that's kind of what he hinted towards, like AI RAN to be a 2026, maybe 2027 technology that they start adding in. So just to keep them, those steps ahead of the competition. They keep talking about extending their leadership. That is what I would also say would be extending your leadership, moving first to 6G. You were the first one to be able to commit to 5G. You did it on the low band, then you got mid band first before anyone else. So if AI RAN, if they're making a big bet on AI RAN, then so be it. So T-Mobile officials are getting louder and more specific about the benefits they see at the intersection of AI and wireless. And AI chipset vendor NVIDIA appears to be a linchpin in T-Mobile's unfolding strategy. We intended to be a company that drives the future of 6G, or drives the future on 6G, and that's why we've struck our unique partnership with Ericsson, Nokia, and NVIDIA. So Nokia is not going anywhere for T-Mobile, by the way. I just want to throw that in there. We saw AT&T shift away from Nokia, their strategy. We saw Verizon do it. You clearly see T-Mobile including Nokia in their 6G strategy, and NVIDIA to help invent AI RAN. They're literally using Ericsson, Nokia, and NVIDIA to invent AI RAN and bring the future about in a way that disproportionately benefits T-Mobile customers, said T-Mobile CEO Mike Sievert on the company's recent quarterly conference call. I think the future bodes very nicely for 6G. And then you guys can read the rest. I'll leave a link to it in the description. So T-Mobile is really embracing 6G and the AI RAN efforts, right? We really haven't heard Verizon and AT&T speak much on that. So if T-Mobile talked about this very recently, and John Saw was at a conference, at an NVIDIA conference presenting, if they develop this technology and they patent it, right, Verizon and AT&T will have to buy that from them if they so choose to use it. Or they could develop their own. I mean, it's quite possible. But if there's a patent for AI RAN that Verizon and AT&T are not tracking yet, they might have to make those purchases from them or whoever's going to have it, right? I don't know if it's going to be Ericsson, Nokia, whatever. Maybe each individual vendor is going to have their own type of implementation of AI RAN. But T-Mobile is very, very, very focused on this. I wanted to stress that again. We saw the AI, the OpenAI, 100 million over 3 years. So that's going to supposedly improve customer service and make it better. And when you're calling in, they should already know what you're calling in for. They've been using that. They've been using that for a few months now. Because I notice it when I call in, the chat bot or whatever that's talking to you, he's already predicting what you're calling in about it. For those of you who have noticed that, leave a comment in the comments. Like, are you calling in about this late payment? That's already AI in use. So it's already being used now. So they're trying to already predict or already know what you're calling in about before you're even calling in. That's the whole AI situation. And then they want to immediately connect you to the department and get you taken care of as quickly as possible. So it's a very interesting implementation. I called recently during the transition of the iPhone. And then, are you calling it? So when I call customer care, are you calling in about this issue, this issue, this issue, this issue? That's how the chatbot is approaching you. So it's a very interesting implementation, but I think it's gonna work out well for them. They're investing a ton of money into this, right? We don't know what the contract looks like with NVIDIA and what it's gonna end up looking like, but what I do know, it's gonna be worth a lot of money, and T-Mobile is opening up the checkbook. You saw it with the OpenAI, and I'm sure there's a lot of money on the table on the NVIDIA, Ericsson, and Nokia deals. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you're new. Follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.